For those of us over 60, there's a daily ritual that could be a hidden gateway to a stroke as you sleep. There are no warnings, no discomfort. 1 minute you feel perfectly normal, and the next you find you cannot raise your arm, your words are jumbled, or your sense of balance has vanished. As a specialist in brain health, I have witnessed this tragedy unfold for too many older adults. It wasn't due to smoking, a poor diet, or a sedentary lifestyle, but from something they believed was beneficial: vitamins. Yes, you read that correctly, vitamins. Each day, countless seniors take dietary supplements with the hope of strengthening their bones, increasing their energy, or preserving their memory. While many supplements are indeed helpful, certain ones, especially in large doses or taken at the wrong time of day, can secretly place your brain at risk. Today, I am going to guide you through 5 common vitamins that can elevate your risk of stroke, brain hemorrhages, or sudden spikes in blood pressure, particularly in the early morning when your brain is at its most vulnerable. If you have ever taken vitamin D, E, B6A, or niacin, this information could be life-saving. Before we dive in, I'm curious. Have you ever had doubts about whether your vitamins might be causing more harm than good? Type A1 in the comments if you want to learn more, or type A0 if this concept is entirely new to you. And if the health of your brain is important to you or a loved one, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to Health 365 for honest, science-based advice tailored for older adults. Let's begin with the vitamin that shocks people the most: vitamin D. What you aren't told about it could transform a peaceful night's rest into a perilous event. You have likely been told that it benefits your bones, your mood, and even your immune function, and all of that is correct in moderation. But here is the critical information most seniors never receive. Consuming too much vitamin D, particularly at night, can quietly increase your stroke risk. I understand how alarming that sounds, but I've seen it firsthand in my practice. Consider my patient, Mr. Walter, a 74-year-old retired Navy veteran. He was a man of routine and principle, deeply committed to his health. Every single morning, he would meticulously arrange his supplements, which included a 10,000 IU capsule of vitamin D he purchased himself. He was convinced he was safeguarding his bones. What he failed to grasp was that this seemingly healthy habit was unwittingly setting the stage for a catastrophic event. One morning, his wife discovered him in a state of confusion. He was unable to speak coherently, and his right arm was limp. He had suffered a stroke during the night. His lab results revealed alarmingly high calcium levels, arterial stiffness, and erratic blood pressure. The source of the problem was vitamin D toxicity. You see, when you overwhelm your system with high-dose vitamin D without professional supervision, it triggers an excess of calcium in your bloodstream. Your body, unsure how to handle this surplus, begins depositing it into the walls of your arteries, causing them to harden and lose their elasticity. And the result of that process can be a blood clot that travels directly to your brain. As we age, our arteries already start to lose their natural flexibility. When you combine that with dehydration, disrupted sleep, and a spike in calcium at night, you create the ideal conditions for a stroke. The most terrifying aspect is the complete lack of warning signs. You go to sleep feeling fine only to awaken to a life that has been irrevocably altered. And here's a fact you might not be aware of. A large number of over-the-counter vitamin D supplements sold in the US contain concentrations far higher than what older adults require. 5,000 IU, 10,000 IU. People consume these daily, subscribing to the more is better fallacy. But research indicates that even 2,000 IU per day could be excessive if you aren't deficient. Let me be perfectly clear. If you are taking vitamin D, especially in conjunction with calcium or heart medication, it is imperative to have your blood levels monitored by a professional, and always take it in the morning, never before bed. Do you know the dosage of your supplement? Type D in the comments if you are currently taking vitamin D. Let's start a dialogue. If this information gave you pause, please like this video to help others see it. Now, if that was surprising, hold on. The next vitamin is frequently taken for cardiovascular health. But in seniors, it can cause something far more dangerous than a clot, a bleed in the brain. Let's discuss vitamin E. Vitamin E is widely known as the heart helper. If you've been taking it for a long time, you are in good company. Many people over 60 incorporate vitamin E into their daily regimen, hoping it will benefit their heart, enhance circulation, or perhaps even improve their memory and skin. But here is the critical warning that is rarely on the bottle. Excessive vitamin E, especially when taken with common heart medications, can elevate your risk of a hemorrhagic stroke. Yes, even when you believe you're doing everything right. Allow me to share a story I will always remember. Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, 81, was a retired librarian from Ohio, incisive, witty, and never without a book. She had a heart valve condition and was prescribed warfarin, a widely used blood thinner. Her physicians tracked her health diligently. Her blood tests were normal, and her blood pressure was well managed. But one day, she bought a bottle of natural vitamin E that she saw in a magazine ad with 800 IU per pill. I thought it would help my memory and circulation, she later told me. 3 weeks after starting it, she was rushed to the emergency room with a severe headache, confusion, and vomiting. A CT scan revealed a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding within her brain. It wasn't caused by high blood pressure or a fall. It was because the mix of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E had thinned her blood to a point where it could no longer clot properly. A single, delicate vessel in her brain had ruptured. Here is what most people don't understand. Vitamin E in high concentrations acts as a powerful natural anticoagulant, meaning it slows down blood clotting. If you are already taking aspirin, Plavix, or another blood thinner, and then introduce vitamin E, your risk of internal bleeding silently rises. This is especially true in the brain, where even a minor bleed can rob you of your speech, your memory, or your mobility. And consider this. The recommended daily allowance for older adults is only 15 milligauss, approximately 22 IU. However, the majority of supplements found in stores offer 200, 400, or even 1000 IU per capsule, with no disclaimers or required consultations. Many people take them daily for years. Mrs. Evelyn made it through, but she now relies on a cane to walk, and her short-term memory was permanently affected. She told me, through tears, I was just trying to help myself. I had no idea I was causing harm. That is the part that is so heartbreaking because her story is not unique. So many seniors assume that if something is a vitamin, it must be harmless. The reality is that not all vitamins are safe, particularly if you are on medications for your heart or blood pressure. You must consult with your doctor before introducing anything new. Now, if the thought of a brain bleed wasn't alarming enough, there is another vitamin people take for nerve function and energy that can quietly inflict nerve damage, sometimes irreversibly. Let's discuss vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is often marketed as a nerve support or brain booster. You have likely seen it in bottles at the pharmacy with claims of improving energy, focus, or even memory. Perhaps you were even told it is beneficial for aging nerves. But here is the warning that most seniors are never given. An excess of vitamin B6 can actually cause nerve damage, which can be permanent. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold Jenkins. He was a 76-year-old retired truck driver from Kansas. He visited my clinic complaining of numbness in his feet, a tingling sensation in his hands, and poor balance. Initially, he attributed it to aging. Then he began to fall. First once, then a second time. The third fall resulted in him hitting his head on the bathroom floor. As I examined his list of supplements, I identified the problem immediately. He had been taking a nerve support formula for more than a year. The label promised support for brain health and circulation, but each tablet contained 100 milliliters of vitamin B6. He was taking 2 tablets a day, totaling 200 milliliters daily, more than 10 times the safe upper limit for seniors. Now here is the frightening part. Unlike some vitamins your body flushes out, B6 can accumulate in your system over time. In older adults, this buildup can be toxic, attacking the myelin sheath, the protective insulation around your nerves. It's like stripping the plastic coating from an electrical wire. The result is tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, tremors, and even confusion or memory problems. What makes it worse is that the symptoms develop gradually. Many people mistake them for arthritis, the effects of aging, or the onset of dementia. In reality, it could be B6 toxicity, a slow, avoidable form of nerve damage from a pill intended to help. If it isn't identified early, the damage can be permanent. Mr. Jenkins was fortunate. We discontinued the supplement and the damage did not progress. However, he still uses a cane and no longer drives. He told me, "I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't realize I was poisoning it." Let's be clear, vitamin B6 is essential, but in very small quantities. Older adults typically need only 2 to 10 milligrams per day, including from their food. Yet, many brain support supplements sold online or in stores pack in 50, 100, or even 200 milligrams. This isn't just unnecessary, it's dangerous. So, if you are taking any supplement marketed for nerve, brain, or energy, inspect the label. Know your dosages. Type B6 in the comments if you have ever taken a supplement like this or know someone who has. Now you might assume, surely some vitamins like A must be safe. It's just for vision, right? Well, not quite. Let's talk about vitamin A. If you are like many older adults, you have probably been told that vitamin A is vital for healthy vision. You may have even taken it to support your immune system, skin health, or because you heard it promotes graceful aging. But here is what almost no one mentions, especially to those over 60. Too much vitamin A doesn't just pass through your system. It accumulates, and over time, it can raise the pressure inside your skull, mimicking a stroke, impairing your vision, and even impacting your brain function. Let me tell you about Miss Dorothy Simmons. She was a 79-year-old retired piano teacher from Oregon. She adored music, gave lessons from her home, and valued her independence. But one day, she began experiencing headaches. This was followed by blurred vision, then dizziness and slurred speech. Her family feared the worst, a stroke. But when we conducted her scans, we found something unexpected. There was no clot and no bleed. Instead, she had elevated intracranial pressure, too much pressure inside her brain. Her spinal fluid was backing up, and tiny veins in her brain were under severe stress. The reason? Vitamin A toxicity. She had been taking a high-dose skin and eye supplement for over 5 years, consuming nearly 10,000 IU daily every single day without knowing the risk. Here is the crucial distinction. Vitamin A is fat-soluble. This means your body stores it in your liver, your tissues, and even your brain. It isn't flushed out like vitamin C or B vitamins. As we age, our liver's efficiency declines, causing this buildup to occur even more rapidly. When there is an excess of vitamin A in the body, it can trigger a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, or a false brain tumor. The symptoms include headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness, nausea, and can even lead to permanent vision loss or cognitive decline. The deceptive part is that many multivitamins already provide the full recommended daily amount of vitamin A. However, some people, like Miss Dorothy, unknowingly double or triple their intake by adding separate skin, eye, or anti-aging formulas. The safe upper limit for seniors is around 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, and that's only if necessary and under medical guidance. Yet many supplements available online contain 5,000 or 10,000 IU or more. Taken daily over months or years, it's easy to see how damage accumulates. Miss Dorothy is slowly recovering, but she now requires regular eye exams, pressure monitoring, and balance therapy. She told me, "I thought I was doing something positive for my body. I never dreamed it could harm my brain." I share her story not to frighten anyone, but to ensure you have the information needed to protect yourself and your independence. Now, if you found the risks of eyesight vitamins concerning, wait until you hear what can happen when a vitamin intended for cholesterol and heart health unexpectedly causes your blood pressure to surge. Let's discuss niacin. Vitamin B3, or niacin, is a vitamin you may have taken or been advised to take for your heart. It is often lauded as a natural method for lowering cholesterol, and some doctors even prescribe it. You can also find it in heart health supplements, energy drinks, and fortified foods. But here's the part of the story that is often omitted, especially for older adults. Niacin in high doses can cause dangerous fluctuations in your blood pressure and could even provoke a stroke. Let me tell you about Mr. Frank Miller. He is an 82-year-old retired postman from Florida. He came to my office with a peculiar set of symptoms: hot flashes on his face, a pounding feeling in his chest, and intermittent dizziness. His wife suspected it was anxiety, while his son attributed it to his blood pressure medication. But the true cause was something no one had considered checking. Frank had been taking an over-the-counter heart-healthy supplement. The front of the bottle read, "Supports cholesterol and circulation." The back label revealed 1,000 mg of niacin per serving. He was taking it twice a day for a total of 2,000 milligrams daily, over 60 times the amount most seniors actually need. Here's what occurs when you take high doses of niacin. It causes your blood vessels to dilate suddenly, which is why you might experience a facial flush or a warm sensation. But shortly after, those same vessels can constrict just as abruptly. This violent cycle of expanding and contracting puts immense stress on your cardiovascular system, causing erratic blood pressure spikes and reducing blood flow to your brain. Over time, this yo-yo effect is like repeatedly tapping fragile glass. Eventually, something breaks. Frank experienced what is known as a transient ischemic attack, TIA, or a mini stroke. His speech became slurred for a couple of minutes and then went back to normal. He dismissed it as a fluke. I had to deliver the difficult news. The daily supplement he took to support his heart was silently damaging his brain, and he is far from alone. Many seniors consume high-dose niacin without even being aware of it. They purchase flush-free or extended-release versions online, believing they are safer, but even these can still elevate blood pressure, trigger atrial fibrillation, and disrupt blood sugar levels. Here is what you must know. For older adults, any niacin dosage above 50 mg per day should only be used with strict medical supervision. If you have high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, or are on medication, please examine your labels. Frank is no longer taking niacin. He is recovering with no permanent damage, but he said something to me I will never forget. "Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain." So, now that we have reviewed 5 common vitamins, each with the potential to silently harm the brain, you may be wondering, what should I take instead? Or, more importantly, what should I eat? Let's discuss real food, the kind that protects your brain without the risks. By this point, you might be asking yourself, if these vitamins carry risks, what is the alternative? That is an excellent question, because the reality is that your body was not engineered to operate on pills. It was designed to flourish on real, whole, nutrient-dense food that your brain can recognize, absorb, and utilize in the precise amounts it needs. Let me tell you about Mrs. Margaret Wilson, a 73-year-old retired school principal from Arizona. When we first met, her medicine cabinet was a testament to her good intentions, filled with supplements: vitamin D for her bones, vitamin E for her heart, a B complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, a multivitamin, and several others for brain support. "I'm doing everything right, Doc," she insisted. Yet, she was experiencing dizziness in the mornings. Her balance was unsteady, and her blood pressure was consistently high. Something was not right. So, we tried a radical approach. We decluttered. One by one, we removed the pills and replaced them with food. There was no magical diet or complicated program, just simple, whole foods consumed at the right times and in the right combinations. Here is what her new breakfast looked like: 1 boiled egg for clean protein, half an avocado rich in healthy fats, a slice of whole grain toast for slow, sustained energy, a handful of blueberries packed with brain protective antioxidants, and a glass of room temperature water to hydrate her brain. Sometimes she would add a few walnuts or almonds. That's all. No powders, no pills, just real, recognizable, nourishing food. Within a few short weeks, Maggie felt a significant change. Her dizziness vanished, her blood pressure stabilized, her energy levels improved, and she told me her mind felt sharper than it had in years. Here is the reason it worked. Your brain requires hydration, healthy fats, consistent fuel, and micronutrients in their natural synergistic form. It doesn't need megadoses, it needs balance. Some of the best foods for older adults include leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in folate and antioxidants. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines, full of omega-3s that protect brain cells. Berries are for the polyphenols that reduce inflammation. Nuts and seeds yield for vitamin E, magnesium, and brain healthy fats. Whole grains to maintain stable blood sugar and support circulation. And remember, these foods do more than just protect your brain. They support your heart, bones, mood, and mobility as well. You're not simply eating, you are healing with every bite. Final wake up call: awareness is the best medicine. At this stage of your life, every decision you make carries more weight. The truth is, it's not the pills you consume, but your understanding of them that offers true protection. The physiology of a person at 60, 70, or 80 is different. Our ability to metabolize and excrete substances changes. Even well-intentioned routines, like taking vitamins, can quietly have unintended consequences if you are not vigilant. This is why awareness is your most effective medicine. You don't need to live in fear of vitamins, but you must treat them with respect. Read the labels carefully, consult with your doctor, and pay attention to your body, especially when it sends you subtle signals. If any part of this video resonated with you, please share in the comments. What is one change you plan to make starting tomorrow? If you found this information valuable, give it a like to help other people find it. And please, subscribe to Health 365 so we can continue to learn, grow, and stay strong together. You are not alone on this path, and it is never too late to reclaim control of your health.